I know you wish things were different. I wish things were different. Ellie! But they ain't.
Please stop!
This game could have been avoided if she cleared her corners. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Damn. That's a lot of bruising.
I'm leaving tomorrow.
To do this smart, we'd be leaving Jackson vulnerable.
So they just get to get away with this?
How'd you find us?
Oh shit.
You can't stop this.
I want what you want. But not at any cost.
This is gonna get very dark.
I really hope you make it.
I have to finish it.
There's a cost.
We could have killed you. Maybe you should have.
Whoa, this is gonna be very dark. Vengeance.
I'm Neil Druckmann, Vice President of Naughty Dog and the Director of The Last of Us Part 2. We're just a few weeks away from launch on June 19th, when the game will finally be in your hands. The wait has been long, and we're extremely grateful for your patience, especially now in the midst of these unprecedented and challenging times. We hope you're all taking care of yourselves and that you, your friends, and your loved ones are doing well. Because of these extraordinary circumstances, we can't be together in this final stretch and share the experience like we usually would. So today we're trying something different. Something we've never done before. Over the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to give you an in-depth look into what awaits you in The Last of Us Part 2, including new details about the gameplay experience and story. And to cap it all off, we'll be showing a never-before-seen, lengthy gameplay sequence. You'll definitely want to stick around for that.
Interesting. You've got me interested.
I don't know what happened. I was supposed to take her to the Fireflies and walk away. They were actually going to make a cure.
They might have made a cure.
The only catch, it would kill her.
Might make a cure. 100%
The Last
will
of Us
kill.
Part 2 picks up Ellie and Joel's story several years after the events of the first game. Ellie and Joel have settled in Jackson, Wyoming, amongst a thriving community of survivors. With the threats of the world kept outside the town's walls, Jackson has been able to find relative peace and even stability. Ellie is now 19, lives on her own, and has been able to forge lasting relationships within the community.
Scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate our kiss from last night?
However, this peace is short-lived. Jackson and Ellie suffer a violent and traumatizing event. Ellie sets off back into the treacherous outside world in search of retribution and justice.
The word you're looking for is vengeance.
Her journey will take her to new parts of the country previously unexplored in The Last of Us. The story spans multiple seasons and climates, from the snow-capped mountains of Jackson to the lush Pacific Northwest. Each introduces a wide range of exterior and interior environments for you to navigate and explore, rendered in meticulous detail and unprecedented scale with the latest iteration of the Naughty Dog engine. Our goal was to make these environments not only beautiful, but feel as grounded and authentic to the cities they're based on as possible. Much of the story unfolds in what remains of Seattle, a massive former quarantine zone. Its locales are incredibly diverse, spanning a dense city center with a skyline of towering high-rises to the beautiful suburbs and stormy waterfronts that surround it. The city exhibits drastic shifts in architecture, elevation, and weather. And with Part 2, we've introduced new traversal mechanics that afford greater exploration and ways to navigate threats.
Oh, nice.
Ellie is not only able to climb and jump over gaps, but she can use ropes to scale vertical terrain or swing over obstacles, allowing you to discover new areas, resources, and side narratives.
I don't know, I'm feeling a bit of Death Stranding.
These more open environments also create new strategic considerations in combat, whether it's to get the jump on enemies or bypass them entirely. The Last of Us Part 2 features some of the largest environments we've ever created. Horseback riding will allow Ellie to quickly cover some of these expansive terrains. Some streets are so flooded that a boat is required to navigate them. However, the world of The Last of Us is as lush and inviting as it is deadly.
Don't get that barrel wet, what the fuck you doing?
As Ellie uncovers the path to finding those who have wronged her, she must face the many threats of this unknown city. In the wake of the pandemic and the fall of the quarantine zone, Seattle has become a war zone, where two warring factions find themselves in an ongoing conflict for territory and resources. One of these groups is the Washington Liberation Front, otherwise known as the WLF. The WLF are a militia group that began as resistance to the military occupation of Seattle, and eventually wrestled control of the city from them. They are highly trained, organized, and well-equipped with weapons they stole from the army. They occupy much of the city, imprisoning or killing trespassers on sight.
Hey, we got another trespasser. A girl. Did you see her?
I've played enough MGS to know how to deal with that. Let's hunt them.
On the other side of this bloody conflict is a group of religious zealots called the Seraphites, or Scars, defined by the self-inflicted deep cuts that they bear across their faces. Like the WLF, they're deeply tribalistic and territorial.
What is that, Greta
They're known for being
Thunberg?
stealthy, using overgrowth as cover, and they use more silent weapons like bows and arrows.
Clip her wings.
But beyond this conflict among survivors, the threat that originally brought the world to its knees is very much present. Every human is in danger of falling victim to the infected. There are the recently infected runners, who are more numerous and aggressive in this game. The blind but extremely deadly clickers, and the stalkers, who sneak and hide until they're ready to attack, surprising their victims with extreme agility and brutal violence. The Last of Us Part 2 introduces new stages of infected, such as the Shamblers. Large, heavily armored enemies that are covered in pustules. Upon getting close to you, they expel a corrosive spore cloud that burns its victims. But our most terrifying and lethal new forms of infected will have to wait until you play the game for yourselves.
That sounds like a big motherfucker.
Overcoming these threats will require careful consideration of how you approach every combat encounter and how you leverage Ellie's unique skills, equipment, and the environment to your advantage.
No, I don't want to. Not
The
the
WLF
dogs.
patrol the streets of Seattle with guard dogs, which are capable of detecting and following you, even while in cover.
You think this guy's connected to the girl
They can
from
pick up your
school?
scent and alert their handlers to your presence. Listen mode will reveal your scent trail, so keep moving and cause distractions to avoid detection.
They could be hiding anywhere.
25 years after the pandemic began, the world is completely overgrown. Use tall grass to hide from enemies and go prone to stay out of sight. However, this form of analog stealth means you're never fully hidden. If enemies get close enough, they can discover you, even in grass.
Someone's been
When
playing
Ellie is
MGS.
overwhelmed, running away is a viable option. You can also break glass or crawl through tight spaces to find new paths or areas to evade or take on your enemies. In any given combat situation, you can flee an encounter and re-establish stealth to regain the advantage. If you absolutely have to fight your way out, there are a variety of tools at your disposal. Ellie's more agile than most of her enemies. She can sprint and quickly dodge incoming attacks. Learning how opponents attack with different weapons and mastering the timing of your dodges will prevent you from taking damage and create opportunities to counterattack. You can use throwable items or well-placed shots to stun enemies before dealing a killing blow. Or using them as a shield to protect yourself or buy some time to figure out your next move. Ellie isn't always alone on her journey. Allies will take part in helping you navigate the environments, spot enemies, and meaningfully help you in combat encounters.
Back off! Got you now!
Between the human survivors and the roaming infected, there will be times where multiple threats are present, creating new strategic considerations and opportunities. You can choose whether to attack these opponents separately and directly, or find ways to pit them against each other. Flee as they fight, or wait until their numbers have thinned out and engage with whomever's left.
Wow,
Our
that's a
goal
lot
is to
of
create
fucking
unparalleled
clickers.
tension, coupled with deep systems that give you greater control and influence over your journey. As you play, you'll be able to invest in a broad collection of crafting items, weapon, and player upgrades through training manuals scattered throughout the environment and scavenging for ingredients. These skills and upgrade manuals cater to a variety of playstyles, and the choices you make will create your own distinct experience. We also wanted to extend that agency and personalization to your weapons through our new workbench system. Scavenge for parts to modify and improve your weapon's performance and attributes, all of which are visualized and become part of your character.
Yeah, but you have to test the site. You gotta make sure it's aligned. But anyway, it's a game. I remember doing that as a kid. So
Survival will also require using the parts and ingredients that you'll find in the environment, which can be crafted into a wide range of defensive and offensive items, like proximity mines, explosive arrows, pistol suppressors, and more.
Oh, you made one out of the bottle. Interesting. That's handy. No, get the one at the back. There you go. Good girl. Fire, fire. Okay, or not.
All of these gameplay systems are meant to immerse you in the world and make you feel in lockstep with Ellie's emotional journey.
Where's the Firefly logo?
As we've said before, this is Naughty Dog's largest, most ambitious game. It may seem like we covered a lot, but we've only scratched the surface of what it's like to play The Last of Us Part 2.
Fucking hell.
We can't wait for you to experience it all for yourself on June 19th. Until then, here's an extended sequence of never-before-seen gameplay.
They said 20 minutes
Enjoy.
of gameplay. They fucking lied. But anyway. The one thing I disagree with is that her firearms are getting wet. And the barrel's pointing downwards when she's on that bone. It's gonna get clogged up with shit. You don't do that to firearm. Like that, you know.
Did you find her yet?
Escape while no one was looking. We're searching the area, just in case she's still around.
Isaac's not happy about it.
No shit.
Escape. What the fuck are they talking about?
What about all the snakes? That would be an interesting mechanic. MGS3 style, you have a few snakes in the water. If you guys are interested in watching The Last of Us 1, we ended up streaming it on the YouTube channel. It's all there. Highly recommend you watch or play it. It's really good. Really good. Amazingly good. That's someone. Oh, he's listening to a radio or something. What is this, MGS? Come on. He's listening to something. Oh.
Don't make a fucking sound. Hands up.
Is that a PSP?
Do you know a girl named Nora?
Sure, yeah.
Where is she?
In the hospital.
Where in the hospital?
Yeah, they're clearing out the upper floors. She's somewhere in there.
That was silly. That was silly. Dude, she let you go. Why did you... If she wanted you dead, she would have slit your throat. You idiot! You idiot! There's a handgun right... What are you doing? There was a handgun! Pick it up!
Boat's away. Word is we're almost wrapped up.
Good. I got my girl waiting for him for 5.
The body will float.
You shit me? They put you with Joe again?
Upstairs.
Hey, we get the job done.
I bet you do. Oh, this is not fair.
I'm telling you, man. Data soldier. It makes these shifts so much easier.
Sure. I'll keep that in mind.
I like how she just makes one of these suppressors on
Sounds
the
like
spot.
scars are getting closer.
I guess she was just
Our
attaching
guys
it, but...
executing those freaks.
Hey, did you hear why we're all getting called up to the fob?
I heard that Isaac wants us to retake all of downtown.
I heard we might take the fight to them.
Oh, no way. Not after what went down last time.
I wonder how quick you are on
Even
2
Isaac
kills.
isn't that crazy.
It's what I heard.
Shut up.
All right, calm down.
No. You stabbing forward. Stabbing forward. You literally rip it out. But good enough. Not bad skill.
Darling! We're under attack! Vicky came from that way!
Head out. Check the whole coast up.
She's no longer a rookie and she's ruthless. I feel sorry for the dog. I feel sorry for the dog. I get it. I get it. It's a sentry dog, but at the same time, I'm a dog lover. And hearing that dog being burnt alive, no. By the way, an arrow to the skull wouldn't necessarily always be a one-shot kill, so...
Just like that.
Not bad. But can she recover arrows? Ooh. Can you pick up his firearm? Pick it up. Alright, you took out... What about the one in the chamber? What a waste of ammo! What about the one in the Fuck off.
Saw movement.
I'll go check it out.
How is someone that's trained paramilitary gonna go... "Ah!" What the fuck is that? Trained my ass. These people aren't trained.
Over here! Stop her now, drunk asshole!
Yeah, these people aren't trained. Fuck off. Highly trained my ass. She would not say I found her, she just opened fire. I'm sorry, these people are not trained.
Right over there!
Why is he standing in the open shooting? That was not a headshot. One was maybe here. That wasn't a headshot. Fuck off. You've got aim assist on. Oh, they'd be able to push that back, no problem. They'd push that back, no problem. If she's pushing that, they'd be able to push that. But anyway. I know I'm sounding critical. This is just my commentary. By all means, don't think I'm being a dick, though. God, this is feeling like the Silent Hill movie. Alessa, is that you?
That you, Nora?
I would clear the room for items, but that's just me. Not another Dre Day. That is the old school 70s rap right there.
Abby was so being herself. What the fuck was Abby here?
I'm not stupid. You're gonna tell us where she went.
When Isaac talks to us about this...
I'm getting tired of
I'm
this.
surprised they don't hear her.
Nora. Nora! I'm not going down for her, man.
Didn't we kill Nora? Okay, at least she's doing it slowly. But I'm shocked that they don't hear her. These people are not trained military. F off. I could train kids better than this. They're not even clearing their corners and they're panicking like a bunch of schoolgirls on a field trip. I'm not offending any schoolgirls watching this, but like you get what I mean. She didn't even pick up the item. Okay, sure.
Don't scream. Put that shit down. You remember me? Yeah. You remember me.
Right, the Firefly girl. Way too much noise. Way too much noise. Like, this is gonna sound a little dicky coming from, you know, like, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed The Last of Us Part 1, and I will play The Last of Us Part 2. But when you're spoiled by realism and quality, like what you get when you're playing a Hideo Kojima game, you come to expect a certain, you know, level of realism. And so when they're sneaking and making noise and creating distraction and going to the ventilation shaft and doing this stuff, I expect it to be like, you know, up here. What's this? PS5 reveal on June 1st. I didn't see that video. I don't know if that's a video. But Metal Gear is a lot more realistic. Metal Gear had military advisors in there from the ex-Special Forces pretty much advising on how the soldiers clear the room, on the type of noises, you know, all of that. So when you grow up playing a game like that, where the standard is literally here, we're talking like the 9 out of 10. Like Ghost Recon is full of shit. MGS is about as close as you're going to get in video games. And then you watch something like this, you're obviously going to notice those little details because you've learnt those details. They've been ingrained in you. And, you know, basic things like not letting the barrel of your gun touching the ground. You know, you get dirt in there. First of all, your shots are going to not be as accurate because there's dirt, there's mud, there's mucus, there's all that crap. Second of all, you're going to jam your gun. You know, like all these things, or like having a round in the chamber. Yeah, you took out the magazine. Cool. There's already a round in the chamber. Why didn't you take that out? You know, like all these little things. Like making a suppressor out of a water bottle. Yeah, you can do that, but, you know, it requires certain things. So all these little things you know of. Or, you know, being able to listen where people are. Yeah, well, you can hear where they're walking, but by the same token, they should be able to hear you. Or when you're engaging these people that are apparently really trained, they're not going to panic when they see you like, oh, enemy, over here. No, their first instance, if they're trained, is going to be like this. They see you, they confirm, they fire. They're not going to panic. You know, unless they're completely green and, you know, they've never actually been in an engagement. But we saw how they were clearing the room. It was pathetic. Now, by all means, you can play the game in an easier level, and if the game isn't an easier level, yes, increase the delay, increase all of this, but there's these little things. Now, I'm hoping that there is going to be a setting where these elements do come into play, where the noise that you make, you know, comes into effect a lot more, and then also the enemies are going to be a lot sharper, they're not going to be as stupid, and when they see you and one of their, you know, comrades get shot, they're not just going to stand there next to their comrade that just got downed and be like, enemy over there! You know what I mean? They're gonna go for cover. That's the type of gameplay I'm used to. Definitely feel sorry for the dogs. I completely understand that the dog is gonna follow the scent, but by the same token, there has got to be a non-lethal dog playthrough of the game where you can mask your scent. Or you could use something like a smoke grenade so the dog's nose gets absolutely filled with shit and it can't drag you even if it wants to. Yes, it's probably not healthy for the dog. Yes, the dog is probably not having a good time. But the fact of the matter is, it's better than getting a Molotov and throwing it on the fucking dog, because that pissed me off. I love animals. You know this. I love dogs. I have a dog. I adopted a dog. I learned to walk with my neighbor's dog. You know, I absolutely love them to bits. Other than that, I don't know, the water, there's absolutely no snakes. Hiding bodies would be one thing. If you're trying to be stealthy, you could at the very least should be able to drag a body out of plain sight. What about tapping down a body to see if they have any ammunitions or a radio or a sidearm or a knife or something like that? That is definitely something they should be able to do. That's been in Metal Gear Solid since Metal Gear Solid 1 or 2, I believe, back in 2000 or 1999. It's not a difficult system to put into a game like this. Or holding up enemies for information. Yes, she did that with that lady that was playing the PSP or the Vita or whatnot, but shouldn't you be able to do that with the majority of enemies? If you catch them completely off by surprise, or, you know, if you catch them, you cover their mouth, you stab them in the leg once, and then you tell them to shut up, and then you mean business. That's going to put them into shock. That's going, you know what I mean? Like, there should be a little bit of gameplay options. That's me. Also, X-ray vision is another element which destroys gaming these days. Gamers don't like easy games where you know where the enemies are, and it's not realistic for you to know how to locate enemies like that. I love games, particularly when we're playing Outlast, Outlast 2, all those games. Remember, I was listening to the headphones, and I was positioning where the enemies were. The thing that fucked me over with Outlast 2 was I would position that Maria or Matra or whatever the fuck went over there. I take a step here, all of a sudden she spawns over there. It was good for the horror element because it would terrify the shit out of me during the chase sequences, but I liked that the game was realistic in that I could use 360-degree sound through sound to keep the movements and the locations of the enemies at the back of my mind. That is stealth. That is an authentic survival experience. And if I can't hear them very much because they're walking on dirt and grass, good. Maybe I shouldn't be engaging enemies in that area. Maybe I should be going somewhere where they're stepping on concrete with their military boots because I can hear them. Or I should be listening for something else. Like, I don't know, door squeaks or branches breaking or glass or the dog breathing. You know, I've grown up with a little bit of realism. So this is kind of, it looks a little bit, you know what I mean? Not well thought through. I don't want to sound insulting, but it doesn't look polished. It looks a little bit rushed. Going through the grass and things like that, yeah, there's a little bit of MGS in there. No doubt, a lot of games take inspiration from different games, whether it be Splinter Cell, whether it be MGS, whether it be something else. There's definitely inspiration there. Which is cool. I like the fact that you can't just go in the grass and you're completely stealth. Beautiful. But by the same token, you should have probably taken a few more lessons rather than just, ropes and crawling and things like that. You need to hear them breathing. What isn't well thought out? The things I just mentioned. They used X-ray vision to cut corners on that. I'm going to be paying attention to the 360-degree sound to see whether or not you're able to locate enemies when they're walking. Because personally, I don't want to have to rely on X-ray vision. X-ray vision isn't realistic. Now, I can get that you could say, well, the X-ray vision is based on her perception because she can hear them. Well, I'm playing a fucking immersive game. Why can't I hear them? I'm supposed to be able to play through the eyes of the character, right? So why can't I hear what she's hearing? Or maybe you boost the sound of their steps through a particular perk or something, you know what I mean? So like acute hearing or acute vision where you pick up things more often, or you could see more into the distance without things blurring or something like that. It can be done a million ways. You don't need to give me X-ray vision. Or maybe X-ray vision is something that people use in easy mode or something, in which case it's fair enough. I'm going to read through a bit of the comments. You will be taking a break from Persona 5R to play Last of Us on release. Also, hopefully I'll be able to catch up. We usually give new games a release weekend where we play the game for the release weekend and then we see what we do the following weeks. So chances are we will give it a weekend where we'll play it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Last time we did this, we ended up completing the game. So we'll see how we go. Can we have a doggo though? We'll see. Also, X-ray vision is another element. I get what you're saying, Kuma, but if an animal is out for your blood, a lot of stuff goes out the window unless you know how you can avoid confrontation. No, 100%. In real life, if I had a German Shepherd like that chasing me, I would probably have to resort to doing what I can to survive, 100%. But if I'm playing a video game like The Last of Us, I will probably spend, 10, 15 minutes at the early stages trying to figure out a way to not have to kill it. Because that sound is not a good sound for me. I don't like it. I don't like hearing animals in pain. Same thing with Final Fantasy VII Remake. We tried not killing the mechanical doggy. And then we realized we can't. We have to. So we started killing them. Thanks for answering your question. Anytime. Gamers want good shooter games that are not always clearly made for children. But these elements like X-ray vision makes it too obvious that adults are not the target audience of the game. Clearly. They put all the blood and gore in there, which is quite adult. And, the way she stabs a person, slices open the gut, then stabs them and throws them over. Clearly she's going for a kill. But like you mentioned, an adult would be able to use their rationale and their logic to, use sound to locate the enemy, whereas younger kids probably would not. So clearly they want younger kids to play this. They don't want to cut off that audience by making it too difficult. Can I react to Log Horizon Abridged? Not right now, unfortunately. And we did get a DMCA takedown notice for an abridged episode on the reaction channel. Thank you, Susie Lou. All the anime companies are going absolutely nuts now and DMCAing everything. They're not copyright striking, they're DMCAing. So it's going to be fun because if you get 3 DMCAs, whether or not you dispute them doesn't really matter. 3 DMCAs and they terminate your channel. Even though I'm disputing it. So it's going to be fun. So thanks, Susie. You fucked the whole of YouTube. It's going to be fun watching the anime companies sue her go into bankruptcy, and then they're going to sue her again after she goes into bankruptcy. So she's probably going to be in debt for the rest of her life. And even if she is unemployed and gets government welfare, well, guess what? A portion of that's going to be going to the companies that end up suing her. So enjoy that. I don't like to get involved in drama unless it affects us, and right now, it fucking affects us. So I have an opinion on the matter. Anyways, guys, thanks for coming. I hope you enjoyed. We're going to be live again tomorrow, 8 a.m. I hope to see you there. We need to get these numbers up and high to keep the average nice and high so we can apply for Twitch Partner again at the end of next week. Hopefully we get it. If we don't, it's going to be a little tricky because starting next week, the Monday that's coming up, I have to start going back to work at my company's HQ, which is going to be interesting. We have 7,000 employees there. So wish me luck with not catching coronavirus. But it is definitely going to impact the Friday night live streams, which is going to make it a little more difficult to apply for Twitch partner because they need you to live stream at least 3 times a week. So we'll see what we can do. I hope to see you there tomorrow. I had a blast. I'm going to try and edit out this reaction and upload it for you guys. Hope you have fun. If you're interested in The Last of Us Part 1, it is on the gaming channel. Go watch the replay. We had a lot of fun playing it. It is an amazing game, amazing story. It's an emotional roller coaster. I highly recommend it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. See you tomorrow. Ninja come out. Bye.